This is interesting because specifically it's real estate around some of those very important religious cities. Why are Saudi doing this?
So for a long time, the holy cities were off limit to non-Muslim investors.
Yeah.
And in Saudi Arabia, there has been a prohibition on investment by foreigners in those cities to avoid driving up prices too much and all of this, of course. But right now, they have major projects that will cost billions and billions of dollars to build towers and hotels and redevelop parts of the city as they want to expand the Hajj pilgrimage and the Umrahs to 30 million people per year. So there is a lot of investment that needs to come in, and Saudi Arabia want to draw foreign money into Saudi Arabia.
Was this a surprise to the investment community? Is there likely to be a big impact on the back of these rule changes?
Well, it was a surprise if you looked at the stock market, because when you looked at the Tadawul yesterday, it shot up. The real estate companies, some of them were limit up, some were the index for the real estate companies, which include 24 stocks. It was at its highest level since 2018. So definitely there was a lot of enthusiasm about this. A lot of investors believe that this will drive a lot of money into REITs across Saudi Arabia, and we will likely see a lot more REITs list on the stock market.
When we talk about the market being opened up to foreigners, which specific group of foreigners are they targeting here? Because again, it goes back to the fact that these two cities are religious cities.
So the devil is in the details, as one investor told me yesterday. He said, basically, we will have to see how this rule is implemented when it comes to Makkah and Madinah. Without being able to own the underlying assets, it might limit some of the appetite of global investors. That could mean that we might see a lot more money from the Middle East or a lot more money from Muslim-majority countries like Malaysia and Indonesia. And some of those countries have had a tradition of leasing towers for long term, some of them 70 years or so or more, where these funds were able to allow their own residents and citizens to come and do the pilgrimage for cheaper than they would normally do if they had to come and rent a hotel or, just deal with the normal setup of Hajj and Umrah.
Yeah, it's just another manifestation of the Saudi 2030 vision and diversification. Typically, you would talk about real estate in some of the metropolitan cities like Riyadh and Jeddah, but clearly this is part of a bigger plan to attract foreign money into other parts of the country as well.
Yeah, there is a lot of investment that going into the holy cities, and this is for investors. Getting a slice of that is really, really important because it's a very steady market, and it's a market that's been going on for 1,400 years. Yeah. It's not something that you expect. It's a captive demand that is there for investors of hotels, of properties, and so on.